Hello everybody and welcome to the Decks of the Weekend, my weekly video where every Monday I go live and I show you the decks that did well in the formats that I follow on my channel, which are Modern, Pioneer, Legacy, and Pauper. Actually, disclaimer, next week I won't be able to record Decks of the Weekend because I will fly to America, where I will do a magic project, which will be revealed soon, as well as going to attend the SCG in Dallas. It's modern. So yeah, if you ever are in Dallas next weekend, make sure to say hello because I will be there. YouTube channel will try to keep up with every day one different video, so no lack of content here. Alright, let's start. Merfolks in Modern, top-rated, actually came second on the Modern Challenge last Saturday, and it's a deck that people love, and it's a deck that VEEDEO Next Catcher definitely made stronger, especially with the rise of Crashing Footfalls as well as Living End, which all of a sudden find themselves against a tough time against VEEDEO Next Catcher. You can check my video in the past. I've played Merfolk with VEEDEO Next Catcher when going 4-1, only losing to the mirror match. The deck was strong, and this list is basically that. It comes from Boy Triton, a Spanish Magic player. And that's basically his list. No Force of Negation main, just a couple of them in the sideboard. 2 Dismember main with 4 in the sideboard. Chalice of the Void, sometimes you see the main deck, whereas here they're only in the sideboard. This is a deck that can cast Chalice on 2, but look at the 2-drop. You already have 22 drop with Adept, Lord, Master, Trickster, VEEDEO Next Catcher, no Harbinger of the Tides here, and Subtlety in the main deck. So basically just no space for Chalice of the Void on 1. You can set it in, but the main deck is just square and super efficient. Merfolk is a good deck, and can compete with the very many 5 colors deck around. I wish there was back to basics in the format to punish those 5 color decks, but there isn't, so you have to stuck with a Tide Shaper. Not even Spreading Seas. It used to be played in this archetype, but now that you have Tide Shaper, you just give up on the Spreading Seas. Let's talk about Pioneer now. Absent Gracefang is, of course, a deck that we know very well because it is a deck that came out as soon as Gracefang got printed. People immediately noticed its synergy with Parilion II. What you do is you you put Parilion II into the graveyard somehow. In this deck, you do it with Stitcher Supplier, you do it Grizzly Salvage, you do it with Raffine's Informant, or you do it with City Wayfinder. And then you put Gracefang into play, and you do that with digging it with Grizzly Salvage, reanimating it with Can't Stay Away, or this version is innovative because it added Eldritch Evolution to the mix. And I think Eldritch Evolution is the perfect card to make you jump, and on turn 3 being very sure to get the Parilion, or rather the Gracefang into play, because you can sacrifice a Stitcher Supplier, or you can sacrifice a Raffine Informant or a City Wayfinder and be able to put the Gracefang into play. I just checked, you can sacrifice a 2-drop to get Gracefang into play. If you don't fan Parilion II, you can also reanimate Ezekiel's Chariot. You play 4 in this deck. So what you do is you go Gracefang, you reanimate one of your 2 vehicles, and then you can use the Gracefang to crew the vehicle because they both have crew 4, and you can attack with the vehicle immediately. It will, end of turn, be returned to your hand. In case of Parilion, it's not great, but you get 2 angels, so that should be good enough. In case of Ezekiel's Chariot, you can cast it again. Liliana of the Veil is another addition to the deck. It's not as good as it looked at the beginning. People were very high on Liliana. In the end, this deck really doesn't have that many +1 outside of Parilion, so it's a good card, of course, Liliana of the Veil, but I think the format has adapted to it. Even some Rakdos midrange deck we're also seeing some Rakdos midrange now cutting down to 2. It used to be start at 4, then 3, then 2. But yeah, I think that this big addition that Happy Sandwich did was adding Eldritch Evolution, and I think it gives higher consistency to a deck that's powerful but lacks in consistency. And the problem with this deck is the graveyard, the hate, like Unlicensed Stir. So you have 2 Abrupt Decay, 1 Knight of Autumn, 1 Ascensus Trophy. Is that enough? Maybe not. You also have Witherbloom Command that can destroy target non-creature land that costs 2 or less. So that's a play that you can do in order to kill the Unlicensed Stirs. Let's now talk about Legacy, because we had a pretty important event on Magic Online, the Showcase. What the Showcase is a tournament where, I mean, it's pretty high stake. It's pretty high stake because the top 8 gets to the Mox qualifier, then you can get to the Mox. So it's not your classic challenge. It's a little bit more than that. The top 8 was 8 different archetypes, only 1 Blue Red Delver. It was won in the end by Doomsday with Shriolden in the sideboard. But Shriolden didn't only top 8'd in the Legacy event in Doomsday, it also top 8'd in the hands of Chirix Man in this deck with 4 Sheoldred in this mono black deck. This deck is wild. Again, it top 8'd a major event with 9 rounds of Swiss. You're playing 20 lands with 4 Dark Ritual, 4 Chrome Mox, and you're playing with 4 Sheoldred. You also have the combo Helm of Obedience plus Leyline of the Void. That combo is, if you have a Leyline in play, you can go ahead and, a Leyline in play or a Daughty Voidwalker, one of the two. You can go Helm of Obedience, you pay 1, tap it, and you win the game because you mill your opponent, or rather, you exile your opponent deck. So this has that combo. On top of it, it has Carnage Creator to go get your Helm of Obedience, as well as just a Karn deck, so you can get anything you want. But yeah, Tarak Dread Cantor is an interesting one because a lot of decks in Legacy are removal spell based. There's Plow, Source of Plowshare, and Prismatic Ending. And Tarak, of course, dodges both of them. It doesn't dodge Caracas, though. But you can cast it easily for its kicker cost, thanks to Urborg as well. You have City and Nation too, but no Urza Saga in this deck, nor Chalice of the Void. It's really an innovative take on this Dark Ritual plus Rotting Regisaur deck. And finally, let's talk about Pauper. Again, this deck had a banning last week, the banning of the initiative cards, yet an initiative card, Avenging Hunter, came to the second place of Saturday Challenge in the hands of Red Green Ponza. I recorded a video for China Fireball with this deck. It's gonna go up next week, or rather, sorry, next days. And this deck is Stone Rain, actual Stone Rain. 3 mana, destroy target land, period. It came second to the challenge, losing to Mono Blue with Tolerant Terror. I love this deck. I think blowing up lands is fun. It keeps the format, all the bounce lands in check, because bounce lands are super popular, super powerful, and whenever you blow up a bounce land, you feel like at the seventh, how do you say? I don't know, seventh heaven. Anyway, you are a ramp deck with Arbor Elf, Utility Sprawl, Wild Growth, and then you have expensive card like Annoyed Autosaur, Boarding Party, and Avenging Hunter. I don't think this deck is like revolutionary or anything. Avenging Hunter just replaces the 5 mana 4/4 draw card, which is sometimes even better, because if the opponent has like Squadron Hawk, you can't cast Avenging Hunter, whereas you can cast the Owl Bear. So it's not even sure that this card is good, but the initiative mechanic is definitely seeing some play. Even some Boros deck with Goliath Paladin were around. I like to show some Red Green Ponza because blowing up land is fun. A lot of people love blowing up lands. They don't love their lands being blown up that much, but that's not a problem that your opponent isn't having fun. The goal of Magic is that you have fun, and if you enjoy blowing up lands, Pauper can give you access to that. Because Modern, not so much. We're gonna have a Modern video with Ponza, but cards are just way too cheap these days to blow up land and expect to have a success. I mean, you can go Blood Moon. Blood Moon basically blowing up land in Modern, but blow up Urza Saga with that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Again, I will not be doing Decks of the Weekend next Saturday, but when after, I'm gonna tell you how did my SCG experience went. I am looking forward to eat some premium BBQ meat when in Dallas. Also some Popeye's Louisiana fried chicken. That's another thing I look forward to eat. But again, thank you for watching the Decks of the Weekend. Stick to the YouTube videos. I am seeing a growth in the channel, which obviously makes me very happy, and I want to thank you everybody for watching, enjoying. Don't hesitate to comment saying if there's some decks that you like to see. I try to stick to competitive decks, but for example, the feedback on the microphone was noticed, and I hope I made my microphone louder. But again, have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the week.